What is going on, everybody, and welcome to bootcamp day number 14. It's crazy. We're already almost halfway through the bootcamp. Hopefully you're all caught up on the bootcamp videos. If you haven't, definitely make sure to head on over to my channel and watch all of the last 14 days. As you can see, there's a lot of education so far in this bootcamp. So once you guys are done with this video, make sure you guys head on over to my channel and catch up on some of these videos. But today we are going to be discussing stop losses. This is going to be part 1, and then tomorrow is going to be part 2. Today we're just going to be reviewing what are stop losses and how can you identify them. And then tomorrow I got some cool tips and tricks that you guys can utilize. So before we hop into it, as always, make sure you guys are doing your daily check-in. Comment down below letting me know that you're still rocking with me and that you're dedicated till the very end of this boot camp. And if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon so you are notified every single time I upload a brand new video. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. Alrighty, so stop losses. There are a bunch of different stop loss orders that you can use in the market, but personally, I only use one kind, and that is going to be a hard stop. So just STOP. Now I get asked a lot, there's different stop loss orders that you can use. Again, like I said, I just use a stop. So pretty much what this is it's a market order saying get me out as soon as price hits this level on my stop loss. So pretty much a normal stop is going to be a market order, and it's saying get me the F out right now. Right? So if you have this hard stop in, if price just starts going significantly against your position, as soon as where you set your stop loss is hit, it's going to sell the position no matter what. You might get filled a few dollars right below your level. You might get filled right at your level, but this is essentially a market order. Remember, a market order is just telling us, hey, get me in the market at the best possible price, get me out at the best possible price. So that is what a hard stop is going to be. Now, also we have a stop limit, which is saying only sell at this price. So if you were to set a stop limit at 1.82, if price on the option or whatever you're trading comes down to 1.82, it's going to sell out of your position only at 1.82. Now, if the position goes significantly against you and your order isn't able to get filled, well, guess what? You're stuck there because you told the broker that you're only willing to sell at 1.82. That's why when I use stop losses, it is always a stop, again, market order, because I want to get out right then and there if my stop loss is hit. And again, a stop limit is saying only sell at this price. Your position could get skipped, and as a result, you end up missing out on your stop loss and the position goes significantly against you. Now, the final stop loss that I have a lot of people ask me about is a trailing stop. Personally, I don't use these and I don't like them. I know some people who do use them. But pretty much a trailing stop would be, say you buy a contract at, let's just say $100, it goes up to 1.20, and you put a trailing stop of $20. So if price pulls back to 1.0 on your option, it'll stop you out. But let's say that price goes up to 1.3, now your stop is going to be at 1.1. If the option goes up to 1.4, now your stop is going to be at 1.2. Option goes up to 1.5, now your stop is at 1.3. So it's going to trail $20 under wherever the option ends up being at that time. If it pulls back $20 from the high, you're going to get stopped out. Again, personally, I don't like using these. If you like them and you want to use them, go ahead. But personally, I don't. I am always using a hard stop. Get me the F out of the market right now because my stop loss is hit. I'm not trying to sit there and figure out if the position wants to continue to go against me or if it wants to go back in my favor. So as soon as my stop loss is hit, I'm out of the trade. So those are the different stop orders that you can use. Now, as far as being able to identify where your stop loss is going to be, it's really going to depend what was your reason for entering the trade and where did you enter the trade, right? So as we saw in the previous bootcamp videos, there's so many different ways that we can find levels and so many different ways that we can find setups. If you were to watch the 5-minute time frame right here on SPY and you were watching this bull flag, say you got long at this 8 EMA right here as price pulls back. Well, if this is a bull flag, what are you looking for? A continuation to the upside, right? Where should your stop loss be? Right below these lows? Because if it starts breaking below the bull flag, it's more than likely not a bull flag anymore. So as soon as it starts taking out these lows, you want to exit your position. But what about if you were like me, who tried to go long at 450, the 50% retracement and VWAP? Where's your stop loss? Right below the 50% retracement, right? So I added some here as we broke and reclaimed this 50% retracement at 450. And as soon as price started breaking below the lows, I was out of the trade. So it's always going to depend where is your invalidation point, and it depends on the setup. Everybody's going to be using a different setup. Everybody's going to have a different invalidation point. Right here, we had a little falling wedge later in the day. Say you ended up getting long as price pulled back to this FVG right here. Where would your stop loss be? Right below the low of the FVG, right? So it's really going to depend. I ended up taking a losing trade today. I took a losing trade and I took a winning trade. If we look at NVIDIA, I tried to short this thing at the 1 hour 21 EMA. That was my reject spot. So as price came up and tried to reject off of that 1 hour 21 EMA, I ended up getting short and my invalidation point was right on the opposite side. So as price started to break above my invalidation point, that is when I got out of the trade. Again, I'm not sticking around to find out, does this thing want to come back and start moving in my favor? If it hits my invalidation point, I am out of the trade and I will look for another setup. I told everybody that I was watching this rejection on the 1 hour time frame. If we take this pivot high to pivot low right here, told everybody I was watching this 447.52 for a reject on spot. As we came up to the area, I started my position, added more to my position as price started to confirm this reject. So right here, we have a lot of volume at the level of interest, and then price broke above and reclaimed the opposite side. Both of those were entries for me, and as a result, my stop loss was above, I believe it was 44 or 45.03 on ES. So as we see over here, price came up, got very close to that 50% retracement. So I said, okay, if price starts trading above 45.03, I will get out of this trade and I will accept my loss. So when it comes to identifying your stop losses, again, I'm going to keep repeating it. Where is your level of invalidation? And that's why sniper entries are so helpful, because if we can get in for as close to the level as possible, our stop loss is right on the opposite side. Now, if you were to enter late, that's when the risk to reward starts to get significantly skewed against you. Like say you didn't enter up towards the 50% retracement and instead you entered down here, you're gonna have to use a smaller position size, but you also have to understand that your risk is now a lot wider than what it originally was. So as soon as you enter the trade, or actually before you even enter the trade, you should be asking yourself, at what point is this trade invalid? Again, you could be entering off the 21 EMA, you could be entering off a VWAP, you could be entering off of a retracement, an FVG, a supply and demand, whatever it may be. Before you enter the trade, ask yourself, where is my invalidation point? And if that invalidation point is hit, that is where your stop loss is. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be reviewing how to identify what your position size should be. How much are you actually willing to lose on the trade? I'm going to show you guys a cool little tip and trick with that. So definitely make sure you guys are tuning in for that. But stop losses are so important. That is what's going to keep us profitable in the market. In reality, if you were right 50% of the time and your losses were only negative 10%, negative 20%, when your winners were 20, 30, 40, 50%, you can be a profitable trader just based off of that. Obviously, using technical analysis and proven profitable strategies, we will significantly have that accuracy higher than 50%. Risk management is very important. A 50-cent dollar move against you should not blow your account. If you are blowing your account based off of a tiny move against you, you are significantly oversized and you did not know what your stop loss was. So before ever entering the trade, again, identify what your invalidation point is and then position yourself correctly. If your invalidation point was hit, your account should not be blown. You should be accepting that risk before you ever enter the trade. So remember, stop losses is what's going to keep us alive in the trading game. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for stop loss part 2. And as always, if you guys did find value in this, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. Don't forget to do that daily check-in, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.